Hey everyone, Chris of Midlife Crisis Media here. Welcome to the first live stream of 2024. And this is the first video game collection live stream of this year as well. Well, it is. Words. This is all about my Microsoft Xbox One collection. This is part one of two. Not my biggest collection when it comes to the newer consoles. Definitely played this the least out of all of them. Trying to think. So, what is my history with the Xbox One? So, got off on the bad foot. Got off on a bad. What's the phrase? My brain is not working. We got off on the bad foot at the start. Whatever the phrase is, I don't remember. My brain's not working right now. So watching the announcement of the Xbox One and that whole DRM thing that you absolutely have to get the console with a Kinect, like the new version of the Kinect. It had to be online at all times. You had to check in every day with the console, and it would do like a voice recognition or a face recognition thing or something like that every time to make sure like you're still like it's you, which is creepy. Also, like from what I remember hearing, it was like the games were going to be like once you buy them and you install them, the games are worthless anywhere else. Only you can play them. You could not resell them, that kind of thing. It was just ridiculous. And I was like, you know what? You lost me, Microsoft. And I think they pretty much lost a lot of fans from the 360 because of that, which is why the PS4 blew up the way that it did. That's why my collection of PS4 games is as massive as it is, and my collection for this console is as small as it is. I have probably a sixth of the amount of games for the Xbox One that I have for the PS4. Like, it's sad. Like, I have 500 some odd games. I have 100 exactly for this console. It's pretty sad because I don't play it a whole lot. I bought the Xbox One, the original version of the Xbox One, so I did not buy it. Like, I always say that I wait the customary like year to buy a new console. I waited, I think, a year and a half for the PS4. I waited even longer for the Xbox One. I did not buy the Xbox One until I got so hype for the new Killer Instinct game that was out for the console. It was a launch game. But they had released like seasons of it and new characters were coming in. I know that they had released a couple of like a Battletoad and a character from, I think, the Arbiter. Yeah, the Arbiter was put into it. And the villain from the first Gears of War game were added into it as characters. And they're adding characters from Killer Instinct 2 into it as well. And I was like, you know what? Now's the time. So I went to the local GameStop. It was the one by my work. And I bought the console. And I like off the bat, I hated it. Like I really, really hated it. Why? So I'd had the PS. I owned the PS4 for at this point for probably a year. And when you put a game into it and it needs to be installed, you would put it in and you would see a little progress bar and it would usually go pretty quick. It would probably take 10, 15 minutes tops to install a game and maybe download the updates it needs to get. 15 minutes tops. When I brought the Xbox One home, I needed to update the console. That was a given. It was going to have to happen. I bought the Forza. I think it was the Forza Horizon 3 model, which was blue and it made vroom vroom sounds when you booted it up and turned it off. It was kind of stupid. The console was also huge. Like if everyone complains about the original Xbox being massive, this thing was thick. Height-wise, length-wise, depth-wise, it was massive. It looked cool, though, I will say that. But a PS4 did look better because it had all that slanted form factor thing going on. I thought it was pretty neat. Anyway, so I did the original update, or the update for the console. That took a little while. But the first game I put in, and it was the first game that I bought, was that Killer Instinct game. I put that in, and it took literally 8 hours to install. It was not doing it over Wi-Fi. I had it plugged into the Ethernet cable, so it should have worked even faster, but it took 8. I had to leave the console on overnight to install these games. And when I woke up in the morning, the Xbox One had like turned itself off. It had gone into like rest mode because it had been on for too long, and it paused the download or the update or whatever it was, and I had to like start it back up. It had paused, and I had to restart it. So basically, it was still installing while I was at work that day. It's ridiculous. I hated using the console because I'm like, well, it's going to become like I want to play the game today, but I'm going to end up playing it tomorrow because it's going to take 8 hours to install a game on this damn thing. Some people I know did not have problems like that. I don't know if it's my internet. I don't know if it was the console that I had or what, but it sucked. And because of that fact, I rarely ever bought games for it. Like if I was buying a game to play on it, it was an exclusive for the console. When it came to like multiplats and stuff, I was like, so I never really played it all that much. I bought like 3 or 4 games off the bat that I really wanted and that were exclusive to the console, and I left it at that, and I didn't buy anything else for it for quite a while. Because, like I said, those download install problems they sucked. It ruined my excitement for the console. Like, after all that crap with Killer Instinct, I barely wanted to play it after that. And I did, but like I was like, why did it take that long to install a game on this console and not on the PS4 or even the Wii U, for crying out loud? It made no sense. So I got a little bit of a collection going for it. It wasn't big. Like I said, it was mostly all about the PS4. And at that time, it was the Wii U I had. And the Xbox One X comes out, just like the PS4 Pro comes out. And they are saying that, not only is it smaller, it's faster, it's more powerful. It can do 4K now. It can play 4K like UHD Blu-rays and that kind of thing. And I was like, well, the problems I have with this Xbox One that I own right now might possibly be fixed with the Xbox One X. So maybe I should look into getting that. Well, I waited another year until that had been out. And I ended up getting it over got it on a Black Friday sale. I do believe it was from Walmart, and I had to go to a freaking UPS warehouse or whatever to pick it up because they refused to deliver it to my place for some reason. I don't know why. But ended up bringing it home, reinstalled all the games I had on it, transferred everything over to the Xbox One X, and it still had the same problem with downloading and installing games. It made no goddamn sense. It took forever. It was slightly faster than the original Xbox One that I had, but I just don't understand it. So even with this new souped up one, the only thing I was really using it for was playing my 4K discs once I got a 4K television, because my PlayStation 4, even the Pro, would not do that, even though it's Sony's property. It's Sony's device. The Blu-rays are a Sony product and all that, but they couldn't put a 4K player in there, but they could in this? That made no sense. But I did notice the fidelity difference in certain games that actually would upscale to 4K when I got my 4K television. It looked really nice, but I still barely ever played it. Only time I would buy a game that was a multiplat was if it was something that I found cheaper on that console, on the Xbox One, than the PS4 or even the Wii U at the time. Or if I had gotten into a collecting, like when it came to a franchise that I was collecting on the 360, let's say, and the franchise continued on the Xbox One, I would always buy the Xbox One version because I kind of like little OCD, I guess, get all of them for the Xbox. So that's why I have so many games of one franchise or a bunch of different franchises on this console, is because, and why my collection is so big is because there's so many games in that franchise that it basically filled out my collection. It's kind of stupid, but whatever. But like I said, I did not like this console from the start. There's times where I wonder why I even bought it. So this will be a short video today. This is the first part of 2 because I have, like I said, 100 even games for this console. And I have 50 here to talk about. I actually have the box here for my Xbox One X that I had bought through Walmart. That I had, like I said, I had to go pick it up at a UPS warehouse to get it. And I still only have the one controller that came with it. I never bought a second one because I rarely use it. And all the games that I had that I wanted to play multiplayer were on the PS4. I had multiple controllers for that console. I never felt the need to buy another one for this one. And I still haven't. And I still have not bought a Series X because of how much I dislike the Xbox One. I'll get one eventually because it's going to be completely backwards compatible there are a couple of games that are available for the Xbox Series X that I want to play, but I'm not willing to shell out $500 in order to do it. I'll wait until their new version of the console comes out and then the disc monolith-looking thing drops in price a little bit, and I'll probably get it then. But outside of that, I have zero, like, Xbox is dead to me kind of attitude right now. Like, right now, I'm all about PS5 and the Switch, and I kind of lukewarm on the Switch as well. It's just mostly PS5, PS5, PS5 right now. So anyway, let's just get into the games. I have no special editions. I have no extra, like, accessories or anything like that with this console because of how much I dislike it. So let's just get into the games. All right, rip this Band-Aid off. So how's everybody tonight before I get started? Happy New Year to those I have not said that to personally earlier. Okay, so one of the reasons why I have so many games on this console is, like I said, franchises that I started collecting on the 360 and I continue collecting on this console. So I have a ton of Assassin's Creed games here. A ton. Like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I have not played this one. I've only played the original, and I hated it. But by the time I had played the original, at least all the way through to the end, to completion, I already owned pretty much the entire, all the games that are available for the console at the time that I played that. So I haven't bought the newest one. I think the last one I bought was, yeah, you'll see it in a little bit. So this is the one that's all about being a pirate. Everyone tells me this is one of the better ones, but I have not gotten this far yet because the first one left such a bad taste in my mouth. I know everyone tells me to just keep on going through the franchise. It gets even better as you go. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it yet because I had such a miserable time playing the first one. But like I said, this one I hear is awesome. It's the GameStop edition of the game, which includes an exclusive mission and ship. And I don't know if it's built in or not because there is absolutely nothing in here with a code. So I could not say if that is true or not. Next up we have Assassin's Creed Chronicles, and I'm going to sneeze right now for some reason. Probably because these are dusty as hell. This is 3 Assassins, 3 Journeys, 1 Creed. This is the one that has the 3 different games in it with 3 different characters, and I cannot freaking read what these are. One takes place in Asia. I know that. One of them, I guess, is American because you got like a Revolutionary War era rifle. And I think that one is like Ezio again or something. But yeah, it has 3 different, like, smaller downloadable games, I think they were. I think that's what this one is. Next up is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is, I do believe, the first big open world one, I think. Or is that Origin? I don't know. I think this might have been one of the first open world ones. But this one takes place in Greece, I think. I do believe this is the Greek one. Includes bonus mission, The Blind King. See, this one's got the 4K at the top. That's what the PS4 didn't really do all that often or well. But I will give this console credit. When you played something in 4K, it actually looked really, really good. I remember I was playing, I think it was Rise of the Tomb Raider, the second Tomb Raider reboot game on the PS4 Pro. That was the first game I played on the PS4 Pro once I got my 4K TV. And it looked slightly better, but I remember I was also playing another game. I don't remember. It might have been Cyberpunk. I don't remember. I was playing one game that said it could do 4K on my Xbox One before I got the TV, and then after I went and put it back in again, and it looked fantastic. The PS4 did not do 4K very well, but I'll get around to these eventually. Like I said, I paid for them. I'll play them. Here's Origin. This is the Middle Eastern Egyptian one. And this has the pre-order mission, Secret of the First Pyramids. This actually does have codes in it. I can see right now. And I'll get around to this as well. The origin story of the assassin, so that's the prequel. And then there is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'm not sure where this one fits into the franchise. Is this like the one that came between like 3 and 4 or 2 and 3 or something like that. If anybody knows, let me know in the chat. I know this one kind of like slips in somewhere. I think this was one of the first ones released for this gen consoles where everyone's like face, like that was so glitchy and felt unfinished that like people's like skins of their face were missing and all you see was like the eyeballs on their tongue when they be talking to you and stuff. I think that's what this one was. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they have like a complete edition of this out now. I might upgrade to that, but this one is actually able to be played on the Series X. When you see that little label up there, that means this is for both consoles. Maybe I'll wait until I get a Series X to play this one, or any of these for that matter. But this one is the Viking Assassin's Creed game. Now there's a new one out. I don't remember. I don't even know what it is. I honestly have not paid attention to that franchise since that. And the only reason I have Valhalla is I got it on a Black Friday sale. And that's another thing. A lot of the games I have in my collection for this console were Black Friday sales. Like, I was not willing to pay full price for anything on this console unless it was something I really, really wanted and it was an exclusive. But all the time, every time I would see stuff on sale for Black Friday and it was on the Xbox One X, I would usually get it, which is why I have this. It's in a rhythm game called Avicii Invector. Avicii was a DJ and he passed away, I guess, not too long after this game came out, but it has like sets of his songs that he would play when he would be doing his like DJ gigs. And I guess to me, I haven't played it yet. I mean, I should probably open it up and give it a shot. But the thing is, it looks to me like Audio Surf. If you ever played Audio Surf on Steam, it reminds me a lot. At least the pictures remind me a lot of that. And I know that I saw some gameplay footage because when I was considering buying this during that Black Friday sale, I looked it up on YouTube to see what it was like. And there's some sections where like you turn into a spaceship and you're like flying through like rings and stuff to the beat and all that. So, I mean, it's a rhythm game. I love me a good rhythm game. I have no idea who the hell Avicii was. Only the first time I ever heard his name was when I saw this game advertised on Target's website. And then I found out like he had died and all that. I was like, oh, okay. This one I remember getting at a half-price books, and it was like dirt cheap. We're talking like $6 or $7, and that is, what is that? Battle Chasers Night War. And I think this is a dungeon crawler. Battle, Explore, Craft, Survive. Classic turn-based JRPG combat inspired by the console RPG greats. Beautiful, randomly generated dungeons loaded with traps, puzzles, secrets, and loot. Overworld peppered with hidden dungeons, rare bosses, and randomly appearing NPCs. Build your hero party by choosing 3 of 6 heroes from the classic Battle Chasers comic, which I did not know this was based on a comic book, so that's new. Dive into the deep crafting system using the unique ingredient overloading system. I don't know what any of that means. It's really hard to read in here because it's so dark and the font is so tiny. But I guess it's a turn-based RPG. For some reason, I thought that this was a dungeon crawler. So there's that. And then because I had started buying these games on the Xbox 360, when the reboots or the remakes or the collections of these games started coming out on this console, I just decided to go with it. So we're talking Borderlands. So we've got the Borderlands Game of the Year edition. This is a sort of remaster of the first game, and it has all of the DLC that was available for it mixed in, and it is in 4K, which is great. I have played this a little bit. I started playing it 2 years ago, I think, and I was already in the middle of playing another game. I don't remember what that was, but I remember I was like, okay, I need to start playing Borderlands. I hear these are awesome. I need to play through all of them. Started playing, and I'm like, this is really cool, but I should probably finish whatever the hell the other game was first, and I never went back to this. It happened with another game I'll probably talk about next week. But it's a first-person shooter, but it's like an RPG almost. It's open world. You can play it. I do believe you can play this multiplayer. Yeah, Xbox Live multiplayer, co-op, and all that. And I liked what I played, and I love the graphic style. Everything is like cel-shaded, but I just put it down and I never went back to it. I probably should start back up again once I finish playing Diablo. Although I kind of want to play Hogwarts Legacy. And then here we have the Borderlands. So I had this before I had any of the other games in this franchise on this console. Remember, I got this at a Black Friday sale at, was a Walmart, I do believe. That is the Borderlands Handsome Collection. This has not only Borderlands 2, but Borderlands the pre-sequel, which has they're completely remastered with all the available bonus add-on content. So it is over $100 in value. It has all the DLC built into it, which is exactly what I like to hear. So since I have not played through the first game, I've not played any of these. I never played any of these on the previous console either. It says the Handsome Collection includes 2 critically acclaimed Borderlands games in one package, all bonus add-on content, including hundreds of hours of gameplay at an incredible value, cooperative gameplay for up to 4 players, either online or local. That is awesome. Upgraded 4-player split screen for the same couch gameplay, and transfer your Xbox 360 save files and pick up where you left off. That's kind of awesome too. Sadly, I never played this on the 360, but I know a bunch of people that did. And I just talked about this in my December pickups stream last week, or actually this was Saturday night. I found this at Walmart. I've said it before that I'll go on I'll go on Facebook or Twitter or something, and there's always people talking about like all these games at Walmart are on clearance. Go get them while you can. And then I go over there and they have absolutely zero on clearance anywhere. And it's like only in certain Walmarts seem to be doing this. I know Jason's Walmart in Canada always has stuff on clearance. The ones that I go to that are near me have nothing on clearance ever. It's always standard price. If anything's on sale, it's like a penny less than normal price. I am not kidding about that. It'll be like, this game is $69.99 on sale for $69.98 kind of thing. It's like BS. But I went there with my mother while I was getting my brakes checked while I was on vacation 2 weeks ago, and she wanted to go to Walmart to pick up some grocery stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm going to go and look at the game section and the movie section and all that and see what's up. And they had nothing in the actual cases, but on the side by the register, they had like a little end cap that was just one little shelf that just had a bunch of like clearance games on it. And I went flipping through it and found this. And that is Borderlands 3 for $5. $5 on clearance. So hell yeah, I picked it up. I hear this one is not the best in the franchise. I hear everyone say like the second one is actually the best one. But I don't care. I've been looking for this for a long time. Since I had not played any of the other games in the franchise, I was in no rush to get that one. Finding it all these years later for $5, well worth the wait, because it's going to be even longer until I play it. I played this on the 360. It was the first game I played on my super slim 360 when I realized that thing was a piece of crap and it was going to overheat and melt the damn games because it ran so goddamn hot that I needed to. I realized, like, I just bought it. I need to get rid of it already, kind of thing. So when the remastered version came out, I picked it up on Black Friday at Target by my mom's house. That is Burnout Paradise Remastered. So this is not like your usual Burnout game. This is the open world Burnout game. It has to be online all the time. There's like all these online events that happen. You can race other players that are around. It does have a lot of the same modes as your standard Burnout game, but it plays completely differently from all of the rest. In that it's, like I said, it's open world. It's not just like, oh, I want to play the Crash mode, do a bunch of Crash stuff. No, you have to go find it. You have to drive around to find it, kind of thing. It's okay, but I kind of wish that they stayed within what the original series was, because they changed it too much, if you ask me. This one I got on Black Friday. It was super cheap, and only the Xbox One version was what was on sale. That is Cloudpunk. So this is, I think it's supposed to be like an adventure. Don't miss the delivery. Don't ask what's in the package. Your name is Raina. This is your first night working for Cloudpunk, the semi-legal delivery company based in the sprawling city of Invalis. It looks like a third-person action game, but it's like Cyberpunk as well. It's kind of Blade Runner-y. And I have listened to the soundtrack of this game. It has an absolutely fantastic like synthwave soundtrack. I absolutely loved it. So I picked this up, like I said, dirt cheap. I think I paid $10 for it. So that's one that's been on my list to play for a while. I just never do it. I actually got this copy from Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming. Like I said multiple times in these streams, that Corpse Flood, Game Grinder, and I will buy stuff for each other and just hang on to it until we see each other at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Then we have like a big gift exchange kind of thing. And since COVID hit, we weren't able to meet up for the 2020 Midwest Gaming Classic. We didn't actually meet up until 2022. That was when we like exchanged everything, and Jason had bought me a copy of Code Vein, I think, at a Walmart on clearance. And there's another game he got me on clearance I'll talk about at some point too. This, I do believe, is an RPG. In the face of certain death, we rise. Create your character, choose your partner, and embark on a journey to the ends of hell to unlock your past and escape your living nightmare. But yeah, I do believe it is an RPG. Haven't played it yet. I hear it's actually kind of cool. Had to get this. I had the original game, and then same thing that always happens. I realized way too late that I was going to have DLC, and I get pissed off, and I sell off the copy that I have and wait for, like, while it's still worth something, and wait for, like, the complete edition. It finally came out, and I did get this on Black Friday as well. That is the Control Ultimate Edition. This one's by Remedy, people that made the Max Payne games and Quantum Break and the Alan Wake games. Just one game of the year for Alan Wake 2. This is the game they made before Alan Wake 2, and I played through quite a bit of it. I wasn't into it. I expected to be full-on a fan of this because of how much I liked Alan Wake, how much I liked the Max Payne games, and how much I liked Quantum Break. But for some reason, I really couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Maybe I was just expecting something else, and it was different. But Captain Algebra still swears by it as like one of his favorite games, so I'll eventually get back into it. I still have my save on the Xbox One that I have, or the Xbox One X that I have, so I can pick up where I left off, but I might as well just start over at this point because I will have no idea where or what I was doing at the time because that was probably 3 years ago. But it's an over the shoulder like third person action game where like you have like powers, like you're in this office that has to do with like supernatural stuff, and you can like move things around with your mind. And it's basically all I really remember. But I remember thinking I was kind of disappointed in it, but everyone else was telling me that I'm a dumbass for thinking that, so I'll give it a shot again. I hear this is actually not great, but here's an exclusive for the console, and that is Crackdown 3. Like I said, Xbox One console exclusive, so I had to pick this one up. The other two games in the franchise came out on the 360, and I have those, so why not get the third one? Well, I waited. I got this on Black Friday. Step up your boom. So it's an open world, over the shoulder, third person action adventure game where you're playing like a super cop. And I played a little bit of the original. I liked what I played, but I just didn't go back to it like I always do. So can't comment on if this is actually good or not, but I have heard that it is not the greatest. I think I found this one at Target on clearance. I find clearance stuff at Target, but never at Walmart. And I found this Crimes and Punishments Sherlock Holmes. I think I have another Crimes and Punishment on another console. I can't be positive. But yeah, this one's like I think it's a modern day Sherlock Holmes. Is it? No, it's old school. But yeah, it's like a third-person murder mystery type game, I guess. I have not played it, so I cannot comment. But I think this is the second game in this franchise I own. I do believe. Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming talked me into buying this. He said this is the closest we're going to get to having like an old-school Burnout game, and that is Dangerous Driving. And I remember he said that he played through this so fast. Race, fight, and compete. In this wild arcade racer, it's all about speed, aggression, and you guessed it, danger. Smash, crash, and weave your way like a madman through everyday traffic and over 70 brutal events set across 30 courses and 7 unique locations. Slam, shunt, and take down your rivals. Experience incredible heart-stopping crashes. Apprehend and take down targets in pursuit mode where you play as a cop. It does sound like a lot of fun. And it includes a bonus game. What does it say? Danger Zone 2, which I think Jason said was also pretty cool. So I remember I got that at a GameStop. And I bought all these games because I love Supermassive. I loved Until Dark. Is that what it was? Until Dawn. Ugh. And they may keep on making these like similar adventure-y, point-and-click adventure type games, horror games, in this like series called the Dark Pictures Anthology, and there's 4 of them so far, and I am missing one. But one of them is House of Ashes. Have not played these yet, but like I said, these are like graphic adventure style games where you make choices for the characters, and you can kill them, you can let them live, you can maim them, depending on what choices you make. That's one of them. And then we have Man of Medan. This is the first one, which I should probably play because like I said, absolutely loved Until Dawn. Same kind of situation. It's just like pick your own adventure, make the choices for the characters, and then watch them get killed or whatever. And then we also have Little Hope. I think is that Cameron Monaghan in there? Might be. Same kind of concept. And there's a 4th one I do believe that I am missing. But since I haven't played any of those, I haven't been in any rush to get it. And then, because I had one game in this franchise on the Xbox 360, I decided that I needed to continue buying the rest of them and complete the set on the Xbox One, and I still have never played one of these games. I've played games like it that rip it off, but I never actually played the OGs. That is Dark Souls, so there's the Dark Souls remastered. So, third person, more kind of like a strategy beat 'em up, I guess. But it's all about like learning the patterns of the enemies and taking them out quick. But it's like it started off like a genre. Now things are called Souls-like when they're like this, like difficult hack and slash 3D type games, which leads to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, which is like the complete version of Dark Souls 2. Prepare to Die and dramatically upgraded and different experience. So this is a complete remaster. I guess it's a remaster of the second one. But I have not played any of these games. And then we have, this is one of the games I bought at one of the last games I bought at Toys R Us. So last time I ever went to a Toys R Us, I bought 3 games, and this was one of them. And everything in the game section was 50% off. So the game was $60, and I got it for $30. That is Dark Souls 3, the Fire Fades edition. So this is the complete edition of Dark Souls 3 with all the DLC mixed in. So it says includes the full game and all DLC content, Ashes of Ariandel and the Ruined City. So came out in 2016 and I still haven't played it. That's some bullshit, Chris. Okay, and here's another franchise which I bought all the games in this franchise on this console because OCD. We have the original Darksiders, the War Mastered Edition. I recently sold my version of this on the Wii U because I'm like, why do I have 2 copies of the same game? And I haven't played either of them. And my copy on the Wii U was still sealed. Just get rid of it and keep this one because this is definitely going to be the better of the 2. And this, I understand, is like playing, I guess, like Ocarina of Time or something. But it's like dark. It's about the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So there's that, but I've not played any of them. And then we have the Darksiders 2, the definitive edition. More of the same. All the DLC is included. Total playtime of over 30 hours. What does it say? 1080p native resolution. So more of the same. And Darksiders 3. This one I remember I had a huge issue with when it came to game. Another problem with GameStop. Oh, shit. Yeah, I remember. What was it that happened? I bought this through GameStop on their website. I bought this on GameStop's website, and I had to go pick it up at the store. And I went to pick it up at the store, and it was like opened already. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't want an open one. I want a brand new one. They're like, well, the only way you can get a brand new one is if you get it off the website and order it new from them. And I think what happened was when I did the exchange for that with this, they never charged me for the other one, so the new one. So this was definitely a lot cheaper. No, because this was considered new. So they refunded me my money. I remember I got this for free. They must have refunded my money to me and never charged me for the new one that I got through the website. If that's what I think is what happened. Because I remember I went there and when they handed this to me, I complained. I'm like, no, this is some bullshit. Why are you giving me an open game? Oh, it's still brand new. No, I don't care. The seal isn't on it. I don't want it. I was like, well, if you want a new one, get it through the website. And I did. And then they refunded my money and never took anything back. So basically, I got that for free. And then we have the final game in the series. That is Darksiders Genesis. I think this one is the one that's like a dungeon crawler. It's not like a third person, action adventure game. This one is actually a dungeon crawler. And I do believe it's like a side story. But I have not played it, so I cannot comment on it. Shit. We're only like 38 minutes in, and I don't have that many games left to talk about. Like I said, I don't play this console all that often. Or at all. And I have not played a lot of the games on it, so I don't have much to talk about. We'll keep on going. Next up, we have Dead Island, the Definitive Collection. This is Dead Island 1 and... It's Dead Island Definitive Edition, Dead Island Riptide Definitive Edition, and also contains Dead Island Retro Revenge, which is like is it a first-person shooter that looks like Doom? Well, it's a first-person shooter where you're trapped on an island with a bunch of zombies. And it had one of the coolest ad campaigns ever. That original commercial had that really depressing piano music and showed like this family getting killed by zombies like in reverse. And it was really creepy and it really got under my skin. And I was like, I need to play this game like immediately. And then I bought it originally, I think on the PS3, and I played it and I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. It's like this cheesy, goofy thing instead of being like this dead serious zombie thing, which kind of annoyed the hell out of me. But I ended up getting this because I do want to play through it at some point. I know the new one had just come out this past year, and it was actually pretty awesome from what I am told, or from what I am told. God, I can't talk. So there's another franchise. I have all the entries because one game in this series was an exclusive to the Xbox One. So I ended up getting all of them for this console. So we're talking Dead Rising. So originally this was a launch game for the 360, and I had bought it when I first got my 360. And I thought it was an okay, like 3D beat 'em up. It was kind of cheesy. You could pick up any item that was in this mall you were trapped in and beat the crap out of like hordes of zombies. It was almost like playing a Musou game where, like Dynasty Warriors, but it was just hordes of zombies. You could pick up a TV and swing it around and bash zombies over the head with it kind of thing. It was fun and it was cheesy. The story was silly as hell, but it was fun. It was entertaining. But it got this like remastered version on the then modern consoles. So ended up getting this on the Xbox One, which led to me getting a copy of Dead Rising 2, which is a brand new character. And you can craft new weapons and all that kind of stuff. And it apparently has a better story, but I've never actually played it, so I couldn't tell you if it did. But more of the same. The exclusive, though, was Part 3. I think this was a launch game for the Xbox One. And when I got around to getting an Xbox One, they already had a complete version out, which is the Apocalypse Edition. Downloadable content features new weapons and vehicles that you can carry back to your main game, whatever that is. Yeah, includes the ultimate open world zombie game along with 4 downloadable game add-on packs. Team up with other survivors to explore the city of Los Perdidos and fight your way out before a military strike wipes the city off the map. And I did play this a little bit when I first got it. I was really curious to see what had changed with the new generation. And it's not much. It's a little more open. It's a little more open worldy than the originals were. The original one that I played was basically you're trapped in a mall. This one has like you running around in the city doing like odd jobs for other survivors and stuff like that, and then randomly taking out hordes of zombies when they would show up. I enjoyed it, but not enough to keep playing it. And then that was popular, so they made a part 4. Let the sleigh ride begin. Frank West returns, who was the hero in the first game, 16 years after the events of Dead Rising to investigate a new zombie outbreak. Can't talk during the holiday season. I'm so tired, you guys. You have no idea. So more of the same, but I do believe this one follows the open world model that the third one did. And there's also like the side story one that has to do with Frank West. But for some reason, that was not released on the Xbox One. That one was only released on the PS4. So if I want that, I have to get the PS4 version. That makes no sense. And then ended up getting both of these games on this console because OCD. And we have actually two. Oh, there's one more I got to get. Shit. Do I have that for another console? I don't think so. I guess I got another Xbox One game I got to look up. So we got the Dishonored games. These are from Bethesda. So we've got the spin-off one that I remember finding like half price off on clearance at Target. So this is the Dishonored Death of the Outsider. This is like a side story game, like I said. Not one of the numbered games. I think it's like the same thing that happened with Lost Legacy for Uncharted, where it was planned to be a DLC pack, but it ended up being too big for DLC. It could have been its own game, so they just released it separately. And it's a first-person stealth action game, if I remember right. There's some magic and stuff like that as well. I'm playing an assassin. I always thought the idea sounded rad, but I never got around to playing them. And then we have Dishonored 2, the limited edition. And this has a digital... Oh, that's why. It has a digital copy of the Dishonored Definitive Edition included for free. It also includes Digital Imperial Assassins Pack and some other DLC. More of the same. Stealth, action, first-person game. That explains why I don't have the first one. I have played these, though. Lots. So definitely had to get Doom. I do believe I was going to buy this on the PS4, but the PS4 version was sold out on Amazon, but the Xbox One versions were still in stock. So I ended up going with the Xbox One version because I really was desperate to play this the week it came out. I wanted to play it like right at the bat. So I ended up getting this version. It includes the Demon multiplayer pack and first-person shooter reboot, I guess, of the franchise, and it is fantastic. Introduced a whole lot of new concepts. A lot of people didn't like the way that the game plays now, where you have to do like these finishing moves to the you'll shoot. It's your typical first-person shooter type stuff, but you'll get an enemy down to a certain amount of hit points, and they'll start flashing, and you have to go and do like a finishing move on them. And when you do, you get like a little burst of speed, and you also will get items. That's how you get refills for your ammo and some health. You mostly get health by using the chainsaw. So you kind of have to, and the thing about this game is you cannot stand still. You have to be constantly moving or you are dead meat. So the whole thing is like trying to figure out like a path you can take so you can loop around the bad guys that are around you and not get killed, but also find a way to be close enough to them so that when they start flashing, you can jump in there and do your finishing move before they croak and get your health or your ammo refills and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. It is so fast-paced and fun. Great soundtrack. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack by Mick Gordon. It's like industrial metal heavy stuff. It is awesome. I listen to it all the time in my car. Great-ass game. But I know this is a controversial thing right here, but I kind of think that Eternal is better, the sequel. Picks up where the last one left off. Continues that same play style where you have to do the finishing moves on the villains in order to get your health and refills for your ammo, but now you have like a skill tree and you can up certain aspects of your character. Like it has like a little bit of an RPG aspect to it now. And I know a lot of people were not cool with that for some reason. A lot of games do it. God of War does it. Pretty much any game like that does it. But for some reason you put that in Doom and people have a hissy fit. I absolutely loved it. It is hard as hell at times. And there is two DLC packs that I think are like prequel stuff where it's like you have no armor and you're running around with like your no armor at all. You have like an axe or something, which I have not played. But I played the shit out of this. I completed it. One of the best endings, best final boss battles in a game I've ever played. I absolutely loved it. And I hope we get a third one. I really do. Absolutely fantastic. This is the Amazon edition. that I bought. Exclusive. Oh, and I was really excited about too. I'm like, oh, is it going to come with like some extra levels or something? No. It came with like stickers that you put over your controller. Big freaking whoop. Never going to do that. Ever. So I was kind of disappointed with what ended up coming with this, but absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I have played this one as well. Multiple other consoles I've played this. The 20th anniversary edition of Duke Nukem 3D, the World Tour. So this is all new episodes. So 8 new levels from original episode designers Alan Blum III and Richard Level Lord Gray. New episode 5 content. Duke Nukem finally gets an incinerator to roast new Firefly enemies. And it has a developer commentary, has a new musical score for episode 5, and new Duke Talk, plus high-fidelity re-recordings of Duke Nukem original voice actor John St. John, who I've met in person and is one of the nicest people I've ever met. So old-school first-person shooter. It's done with pixel graphics. Nothing has changed. It's not remastered in polygons or whatever. It's still the old-school games. But now there's new content added in post-game kind of stuff, which is awesome. And I was playing through this when I first got it. I know Jason Corpsefly got his copy of this signed by John St. John at the Midwest Gaming Classic when I met him. Absolutely fantastic compilation. I absolutely love it. I just need to play through all of that. I remember I found this at the Exchange down the street for me, and I thought it looked kind of interesting, so I picked it up, and I do believe it is a survival horror game. That is called Fade to Silence. And I cannot read it to you because the font on this is so goddamn tiny. Like I would need to get a magnifying glass out in order to read that. That is some BS. But I do believe it is a third-person survival horror game in the snow, like in Atlanta or Alaska or something, which I thought looked pretty cool. I think just that cover art is pretty striking. It's probably what got my attention anyway. I love me a good survival horror game. Here's one, the only game I ever got for the Xbox One through limited run games. I don't know why they did this, because I see this all the time in stores. But I got this day one edition of the Falconer. And I think the only thing that's different about this and the one that's in the store is this has an exclusive slipcover. Yeah, there's nothing on the back at all. It just has where the barcode sticks out. Day one edition for the Falconer. And I cannot read anything to you about this because it is written in such small font. I would not be able to read that with the current lighting levels in here. But it looks like you control a falcon on adventures. Ooh. And I just thought it looked kind of cool. And I thought it was kind of different. So I got this through limited run. And since it's the only game I've ever gotten from limited run for the Xbox One, I decided to keep it. And because I have other games in this franchise on the original Xbox and the 360, I decided to keep going with it. And I got I still have to get the game that came before this. I still don't own a copy of Part 4. Far Cry 5. These are first-person shooters as well, but this one is the one about the crazy insurrectionists. I think that's what the story is on this one. Fight to free Hope County, Montana, from a fanatic doomsday cult. As you build your resistance, the ever-evolving world will shape your story in ways you'll never see coming. Fight alongside allies. With the For Hire system, choose your team from guns, fangs, or friends for hire. You get a dog. I like the idea, just never actually played it. And then there was, I guess, the same concept that happened with Lost Legacy happened here also. This was supposed to be a big DLC thing because the reason I refused to buy Far Cry 5 was because Part 4 had a big DLC, post-game stuff, DLC. So I was waiting for a complete edition of 5 to come out, and then I found out I wasn't going to get any DLC because the DLC was getting its own separate game. So I never bothered, or I ended up finding that on Black Friday and this on Black Friday, but I keep on forgetting to look for the complete edition of the 4th game. But here now we have the DLC add-on, which is Far Cry New Dawn, which ended up being its own game. And it comes with the Unicorn Trike. Ooh. You're playing as two younger girls survive in a post-apocalyptic frontier. 17 years after a nuclear doomsday, fight for survival in post-apocalyptic lands filled with deadly wildlife, brutal gangs, and more. Explore a vivid open world reclaimed by nature. Scavenge resources to create new weapons as you fight against the all-new villains, the twins. So, yep. I got to write this down. I got to look for the fourth game. And this is a game I've bought multiple times, and I have not played any of the copies that I have. What's up, Retro Coop? So I haven't played this, but Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. So this is the complete final edition of this game. I think I bought this 2 other times before the final edition came out. And this is basically Bromance, the video game. I remember I saw the original trailer for Final Fantasy 15 before it came out. And it was just a bunch of bros driving around in a car, just talking about nothing, chilling, talking about girls and whatnot. Oh, look, there's a monster on the side of the road. Let's go kill it. And then they all go and kill it. And I'm like, that's the game? That's all you do is drive around looking for things to kill? Excitement. So I never really got really excited to play it, but I did want to own it because Final Fantasy. And they kept on releasing DLC for it and stuff. And so I ended up just getting the Royal Edition eventually on Black Friday. But it's the new style Final Fantasy. It's not turn-based or whatever. It's kind of like the way the Final Fantasy VII Remake is, where it's kind of like third person running around, hack and slash with RPG elements. So it's an action RPG now, not a true RPG. And then we've got all these games. Well, I only have 2. I thought I had more. Well, I know what other games I need to get for this console to complete this collection. OCD at work again. Got Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Horizon 4. So I need to find part 3. So these are arcadey racing games. It's almost like Fast and the Furious type the way it's set up. It's really fast-paced and fun. Go driving around, find missions to do and stuff like that. Find races and stuff. This isn't like playing Gran Turismo like Forza Motorsport is. This is its arcade cousin. And I have not played the second one. I remember I found this at half-price books. But I have played the fourth one. And when I first got the Xbox One X and my 4K television, when the 4K television showed up, I was like, time to try this puppy out. And oh my God, is this one beautiful ass game. This is before that I played a PS5, obviously. This looked freaking amazing in 4K. I could not believe it. To the point where I told Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming, I was like, dude, you need to play this game. I know racing games aren't really your thing and all that, but this is like playing a Burnout game with not a lot of crashing stuff going on, but you need to play it. And then he ended up playing through the whole damn game. But it is super awesome. I absolutely love it. I need to play more of it. And then we have exclusives for this console. Had to get these because I've played 2 of the other games in this franchise. So there are 5 total. 6 if you count the little spin-off one that they made. But when it comes to the numbered games, there's 5 total. I've played 2 of those. We're talking Gears of War. So we've got Gears of War 4. The first game in this franchise that came out on this console. It has a campaign. It has a Horde 3.0 mode and a Versus mode. Third-person run and gun with cover-based mechanics and stuff like that. I loved the first 2. Never ended up playing the third one for some reason. Still haven't played Judgment, which is like the spin-off. But when we got part 4, I jumped out to get it. And the thing is, it comes with digital copies of the first 4 games that came out on the 360. But since I bought this used, I don't expect that code to be working. I have the codes right here. Yep, I can use them if I want, but I probably won't because I own all the games on the 360. But it does come with a bunch of stickers. Oh my God, I'm 5 years old. Stickers are the best. Let me get my He-Man sticker book out and we can trade the stickers we don't have, guys. Anyone remember the He-Man sticker book that was super popular in the early 80s, like I do? And then we have the follow-up, Gears 5, that has dropped the Of War. I do believe Laura Bailey plays the lead character in this one. I think it's Marcus Phoenix's daughter or something. But more of the same. I got this on, like, I want to say this came out brand new, and then like 6 months later, this was already discounted heavily, and I got it on Black Friday. So I don't know if it didn't sell or whatever, and maybe the franchise ends here. I don't know, but I got it. I haven't played it, though. And then we have this oddity, but then again, Halo also did this kind of thing as well, so I don't know why I'm surprised. But we're talking Gears Tactics. I also picked this up on Black Friday, dirt cheap. And it's exactly what it says it is. It's like playing XCOM, but with Gears of War characters and bad guys against you. I don't know if you can play as both. It just says aggressive gameplay, customizable squad. Gears Tactics is a fast-paced, I cannot talk, guys, is the fast-paced, turn-based, see, that's what screwed me up, strategy game from one of the most acclaimed video game franchises, now updated and expanded for Xbox consoles. So, yep, XCOM, Gears style. Comes with the Thrashball Cole character pack. Ooh. I'll get around to it. And the last game I'm going to talk about tonight is, I have played this quite a bit. I've played this on another console as well, and I started playing it here, and I just kind of got bored with it. I should go back and finish it off. I liked it, but for some reason I just was like, yeah, I'm going to go play something else now. But that is Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. So this is the game that came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I played it a bit on the 360. I did own that version of it. And then when the remastered version came out, I decided to pick this up. And it is a slight remastering. It looks a little bit better, but not much. I don't know what they did, but it's not impressive at all. Even though it says it's in 4K, it sure as hell doesn't look like anything like that. It still looks like a 360 game. It's just a little bit less, like, I guess everything's a little more smooth. But it was fun. I liked it a lot. I liked the way the game plays. I liked that the original cast of the movie came back to voice their characters again. It's pretty awesome. Just for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm not, because I'm not the greatest Ghostbusters fan. I like Ghostbusters just fine, but I'm not like fanatical about it. Maybe it's because of that I didn't keep going with it, but I probably should. Maybe this will be the year. Maybe instead of 2024, like the way I said 2023 was going to be the year of RPGs, and I never beat an RPG. Except maybe some action RPGs. Maybe this will be the year of the games that I've started and never finished. Maybe this is the year I go back and finish those. But I'll get around to completing that one because I do want to. I did enjoy my time with it, so we'll see what happens. So that's it for tonight. Like I said, I don't have a huge collection for this console. I only have about 100 games. And I did see a couple of gaps in the collection now that I'm really paying attention. Why would I buy them if I'm probably not going to play them? I don't know, but whatever. So I'll be back next Thursday with the final part of my Xbox One collection streams, and that will be followed up by my Switch streams, which I can definitely talk a hell of a lot more about those games, because I have a lot more games for that console that I have played. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight, everybody. I appreciate you hanging out. I will talk to you next Thursday. Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Central. For that, I'll try to get a few extra shorts completed and released in between if I can. And also check out my other new channel called The Movie Starting. I'm putting all of the podcasts that I've done for my The Movie Starting podcast on YouTube now because it's cheaper, because it's free instead of having to pay for a host. So I'm uploading all of them over there. So go and check out the channel. I'll put the address here real quick. There you go. That is the channel. Please go and subscribe. And we're probably going to start recording again once I have all 6 seasons uploaded. So if you want to be a guest, let me know, either here or on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and we'll see what we can work out, because we do a lot of these over the internet. So I will talk to you all later. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Chris, the old S, almost said it. That's how tired I am, guys. Chris from Midlife Crisis Media out.